Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining today. We are at record registrations and participants already, so welcome. We have many people joining us from Zurich, from the United States, several states, including New Jersey, Miami, Florida there, also from Bangkok, Thailand, and various other people. So please make sure to put in the chat where you are dialing in from today or joining the webinar. It's really great to have you here, and we are really excited to showcase the latest advancements. My name is Dominic. I'm the CEO and founder of Colossyan, and it's been basically in preparation for so many months. This session today is our biggest launch so far. So yeah, I see we have people from all around the world. So I would say good morning and good afternoon and evening to everybody. And we can get started already. So today I will share my screen and walk you through where we are as a company and walk you through the Colossyan launch. So basically already on the screen you can see what we are today as Colossyan, the AI video creator as you knew us. And today we are very excited to I would say announce also a rebrand, which has been in the works. So this whole presentation and where we are as a business, and from tomorrow onwards, you will see it on our communications and marketing channels, the kind of more human approach we took from a branding perspective. So kudos to our team. But I would say Colossyan Beyond is not just a product launch to us, but also a different kind of take in our messaging as well, where we go from a video creation tool to a complete training system. As the founder and CEO of Colossyan, it's really exciting to see everybody here. And I'm sure you will have loads of questions today. At the end of the webinar, we are going to have a Q&A. So please make sure to ask your questions, and I and the team will try to answer them as much as possible. So thanks so much already for your inquiry, and this webinar is also recorded, so you'll be able to see the recording later on. Let's move on. So I would say the problem that we are still seeing at Colossyan is that training teams are under pressure. Training teams need to distribute, I would say, faster, keep knowledge accurate as things change, and deliver the training across regions and roles. And from this perspective, creating content is no longer the hardest part. We have many options and many tools at our disposal that helps us, and but teams still feel overwhelmed as of today. AI can now generate slides, scripts, videos, quizzes, and courses. And what we believe in at Colossyan is that it's no longer the content creation that's the hardest part, but the maintenance and also the how we can operate more in a systematic manner. And the real problem actually starts after creation. So the training content today is fragmented. Every update means rebuilding, and the knowledge that we have lives in various types of sources, which include documents, slide decks, authoring tools, or video tools. And also our work with, let's say, translation vendors. We have many of our customers as of today who have source of knowledge across all these areas, and gathering it and utilizing it is a big challenge in today's AI-first world, I must say. So this is the direction we have been building toward. Over the last year, we introduced more realistic avatars, interactive video experiences, focusing on video, right? Global localization and more scalable production. These were really not isolated features, but more like foundations towards the system that we've been building. And I brought to you a video today built by our great team that kind of summarizes where we are and what we did in the most recent past.
Over the past year, we've been evolving Colossyan step by step. We introduced Neo 2, a new generation of AI presenters designed to feel more natural and expressive. We expanded interactivity, adding new ways for viewers to engage directly inside videos, like action buttons that guide the next step. We made it easier to reach global teams with features like the multilingual player. And we improved how training is delivered inside learning systems with things like SCORM bookmarking. Each of these releases solved a different piece of the puzzle, but together, they were building the foundation for something much bigger. Because the future of training and enablement isn't just about creating content, it's about running it as a system. And today, we're excited to show you what that looks like.
I hope it was useful for everybody to see. Let me share my screen again, and we can basically discuss what this system actually means. So training works when the workflow is connected in our view. So that means that real training programs require multiple parts to work together. So all the different modalities and also distribution methodologies and access to the knowledge operating in one system. So when these separate, when these operate in separate tools, the workflow breaks. That's what we learned through various user interviews and also discussions with our customers, ranging from Fortune 500 companies to small and medium-sized businesses. When they operate together, training becomes more scalable, more personalized as well. And I would say there's a question that we can ask, which is what happens when training is treated as a system, not a set of files. And I brought you today a really exciting conversation with an expert who I always love to have a discussion with, Dr. Philippa Hardman, who is researching these topics thoroughly. And I must say that you really should follow her work because she talks about how I would say training and enablement can be run in the AI first world. And we brought a discussion today that explains her perspective and where we are heading in the most near future. So with this in mind, I would love to initiate the interview that I've done with her recently.
It's great to have you here, Phil. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to discuss the future of learning because I think you are one of the experts in the industry who really does heavy amounts of research in the space and understands where the field is heading. So excited to discuss some of the topics we prepared and plan to talk about today.
Yeah, same. Thank you for inviting me. Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thanks so much. And I just wanted to open this conversation with what has changed in learning and where we are heading. I think AI content creation has dramatically got easier in the last years, why many learning teams still feel overwhelmed. I do believe that this impact kind of helped primarily in the space where after the pandemic, many of the organizations turned to more digital learning initiatives and a lot of things got easier. But from your perspective, what has changed in learning over the last few years and what has not changed really that should from your perspective?
Yeah, and I think it's a great question because both of those bits are true. And I think one of the interesting side effects of the AI conversation is it's very much focused our attention on change, when actually I think there is quite a lot of continuity over the last, let's say, whatever, 3 or 4 years since generative AI exploded. So let me justify that position. So I think in terms of what's changed, I think definitely the tech stack has changed. I mean, there is no denying this, and particularly in the work that I do with um, corporate L&D, so big L&D, big global L&D type teams. Um, the the tech stack, the day-to-day tech stack is now different because of generative AI. So of course, tools like Colossyan, like Synthesia, are probably, I think, the most used AI tools alongside generic LLMs across that specific industry, as are other tools. So things like automatic quiz generators, script writers, all sorts of things. So I think the tech stack has definitely evolved from, I mean, let's think about what it was before that. Very, I guess, Luddite, as I would say, but very, I guess, inadvanced. And so there's been an amount of quite accelerated change and advancement in some ways in our technology stack from things like the LMS and then just like Excel and Word to these new AI tools. Uh, but I think what stayed the same is the underlying process. So those tools that we've just described, the ones that are being adopted most in the learning profession, let's say. So the video generation tools using AI to create scripts and quizzes, they all are just new tools to do the same jobs. So the tasks themselves have not changed. Predominantly, processes haven't yet changed. So we're still defaulting to the ADDIE process or something like the ADDIE process, but augmented by AI is the language that I hear a lot. And usually by augmented, we mean each step is now faster and cheaper because we delegate some of it to AI, or for example, because we can make a video with AI in one day versus bringing in a whole production team. So it's both faster and it's cheaper. But fundamentally, what hasn't changed yet in L&D, but this is changing outside of L&D, and I think it will change. And this is one of my predictions for this year. But what hasn't changed yet is necessarily the vision. So the processes, the goals, the KPIs attached to L&D teams are still those which predated AI. It's just that AI is helping us to achieve more with less, but more of the same.
It's fully understandable, and I also see that there's a shift, of course. Like content creation itself was um, dramatically harder, but also now there has to be like a general, I would say, evolving skills attached to these roles. And you recently wrote about sort of a full stack next generation learning designer, instructional designer, and that correlates well with what we are seeing as well eventually in how to kind of evolve more into strategic roles and designing actual learning systems. Therefore, I wanted to explore like whether the industry right now is pushing maybe too much on the course and the asset creation rather than the designing the systems themselves. How do you feel is the balance between the two? Because I genuinely feel like there should be a minimum equal focus towards both ends to have a great experience on the end user front.
Mm. No, and you're right. It's a decision. In fact, I did an interesting session with like an exec team this week, and this is the decision that I was giving. Like basically saying was their first and biggest decision is, do you want is your AI strategy, let's say, going to be, or your L&D strategy, is it going to be about adding faster and cheaper, or is it going to be about actually rethinking the system? And I think right now the technology excuse me, in the same way actually as learning technologies like the VLE and the LMS, they've tended to, they're not neutral. They tend to enforce a specific approach to the work that we do and shape the output. And I think in the last 3-4 years that hasn't changed. The output, like the unit of output of an L&D team, is a course. And it might be a more dynamic course. It might be augmented with some AI coaching. There might be AI video production within it, so they can be built faster and be more relevant. They might be more differentiated because AI means we can build 3 things where we used to build 1, whatever. But I'm seeing less of a focus on this rethinking of the system itself. And that's the other choice that some organizations, to be fair, are considering. And there's a lot of conversations that I'm having right now with, again, primarily large corporates, which is like, well, excuse me, what I just described is our quick fixes with AI type strategy. But our bigger conversation is around what does learning look like as a system with AI in the mix. And that's where there's some really interesting experimentation happening. And you referenced the article I wrote recently. I learned a lot from industries outside of L&D which have similar processes and similar pain points. So which are, generally have a very slow process, generally have lots of handoff points. So things like product
Product
management.
management, right? I think you
Product
referenced to that a few times.
Yeah. And also to a degree software engineering as well. But let's say product management, what we are seeing there, and I think where we can take both inspiration and some insight to make some solid predictions, is the trying to not make product management as it already exists faster, but actually to almost like demolish the system and start again. Which sounds complicated, but effectively what I'm saying there is that imagine a world in which L&D teams no longer have, a human team for analysis, one for design, development, evaluation, excuse me. Um, Instead, there is one human here who is responsible for a project that goes from problem definition all the way through to building and prototyping a product, a learning product in our case. And of course, that the system that underpins that still has the same elements as of the system now. So it still has some analysis, it still has some design work. You have to still create the right solution and build it and test it and then iterate it. But what AI is enabling us to do, if L&D teams are able to upskill their teams to be full stack with AI skills, is to essentially remove the handoffs and remove that linear waterfall type process that has really slowed us down, and create a new, much more sort of agile and full stack approach. Whereas L&D professionals, we become responsible for an outcome. So that, in as short a nutshell as I can make it, is, I think the difference in a way between the types of organizations that I'm seeing on the ground and the types of AI cultures that I'm seeing. Some are very much focused on the what we already do faster and cheaper, and some are focused on what we could do now we have these technologies.
I think from a final question from my end, how do you think platforms like Colossyan can support teams that are small but responsible for training across, I would say, the entire organization in this era, in this change that we discussed so far? Uh, what are the tangible points that platforms like us could do better?
Yeah, and I think um, it's the natural evolution from where we've started. So I think there's a lot of tools, Colossian included, that started with the biggest pain, the biggest problem, because we're building a product, we want people to buy it, and pain matters. So there's been a lot of products built for this development part of the process where we make content. But of course, I think, ironically, I think if we'd asked any L&D professional and or indeed learner before AI exploded 3-4 years ago, like, what's the most valuable change that we could make with a new exciting technology, I'm not sure many, if any, would have said more content, please. And so I think my call to action for product companies as well as L&D teams is to start to think less about this one part, the development part of the process, and start to think instead, how might AI not just make us faster, but also better at all of the different parts of our workflow? So, what would it look like for AI to augment things like analysis? Like, so important to understand what the problem is and what the optimal solution is then in the design phase. That's something that we don't ask often enough, but there is a huge amount of value to add. And then, as well as the development stage where we're already focusing, thinking also about implementation. So, where can AI help us to more rapidly implement more personalized learning and or provide always on support and those kind of things? And then there's also a batch of tasks which sit around evaluation where there is massive potential to transform our work. I would say, in a way, like these two bookends of analysis and evaluation are where AI, which is essentially a data machine, can add most value. So imagine a world in which, the platforms that we have access to can help us to design really great evaluations, but then track actual on the job performance, for example. That sounds like a crazy idea, but it is happening already in some of the pilots that I'm involved in and some other stuff elsewhere. The way that we design and deliver learning, in particularly in the corporate context, has just, we've poured more and more money in every decade and not seen a massive increase in engagement, in uptake, in impact. And so we need tools that enable us to solve that problem rather than just oil and scale something that's just going to, I guess, root that broken system more firmly and make it harder to change in the future.
Absolutely. This I would say a super important conclusion, which I agree with personally. I think this brings a great conclusion to our conversation. This brings us to Colossyan Learn, the product that we are launching today, because through the initial, I would say, hypothesis test, design evaluations with it, we kind of explore the workflow for our users, and the workflow doesn't start with building, but starts with preparation, with internal discussions, and then eventually an outline phase, and then the production. But most importantly, in the end, also the delivery. And the delivery, as you said, in the future might not only be a course, but an interactive experience that works possibly in the flow of work. It's definitely something that we are considering, and also the topic that David is going to talk about today, our senior product manager, the Trinity system, which is the agentic kind of flow of how Colossyan Learn will work with our users and also with the end viewer and the learner, is going to basically cover some of these aspects. It's a step-by-step journey. We cannot be there today, but we are definitely be there within months' time. So I'm excited to see how it evolves. But I think for vendors and technology providers as ourselves, it's really important to have these conversations, Philippa. We definitely want to be on this journey and produce this value to not just oil the existing machine, but to enable doing new things which we haven't been able to in the past. So I really am thankful for this conversation and for your wisdom and insights about the space. As always, it's been a pleasure talking to you. So thank you so much.
Same. And thank you so much. I'm excited to see more about Colossyan Learn in the coming days, weeks.
Thank you so much.
I hope all of you have enjoyed the conversation, and let's continue with I would say the main topic for today, which is if training is a system, you need a platform to support it, and this is Colossyan Learn. This is why we are launching this product today. Basically, for you to be able to build structured training and enablement programs from existing knowledge. So let's check out what Colossyan Learn is about in a video, of course. Powered by Neo2.
Training doesn't break overnight. It fragments. Slides in one place, videos in another, assessments somewhere else. Updates happen in documents no one can trace. Every new course adds another tool. Every update multiplies the work. Maintaining training becomes harder than creating it. Colossyan Learn replaces fragmented workflows with one connected system. Start from existing knowledge. Turn it into a structured, video-led course. Combine video, text, visuals, and assessments in one production flow. Generate multiple lessons. Apply your brand. Export directly to your LMS. Fewer tools, faster production. Training designed to evolve. Run training as a system.
As I said, we are so excited to discuss Colossyan Learn today. So I will walk you through all the capabilities of this new product and how we are launching it. Basically, what Colossyan Learn enables today is starts from, of course, AI course generation, which means you can turn documents or drafts into structured courses, so more modalities. We are going beyond video. That's why we title this entire launch Colossyan Beyond, because this is beyond a single modality. And Colossyan video integration is fully embedded, so you don't need a different video tool or a different, I would say, authoring tool. You can create a Colossyan video directly inside the course editor. Of course, you can add media and rich content, building more engaging multimodal experiences. And branding and all the brand settings are very strategic to where we are. So we really want to ensure that you can create a great quality output. I already saw in the chat that you have needs towards knowledge checks, so which means quizzes and additional knowledge checks directly in the lessons. So you are going to be able to do that, and of course, deliver it to your LMS systems or anything beyond that can be done seamlessly with the latest core advancements within the scope of Colossyan Learn. So basically, I mentioned to you starting from your knowledge, which you already have. So you can see that in this a small video how it looks like, basically with the AI system that we are building. So instead of starting from a blank page, Colossyan is able to generate a course structure. So if you wanted course outlines and basically like a midpoint evaluation before creating a draft, now you will kind of enjoy that experience with lessons and pages and additional supporting content. So basically you can go from raw knowledge to higher quality complete training draft in minutes. So the quality is something that we are putting huge attention on, and how we can apply learning design skills as well into this whole AI flow. It's an exciting topic that David, my colleague, is going to talk about later in this webinar. Of course, creating videos is definitely needed, and we are kind of building this product initially as a video-first course builder. So you can add your Colossyan videos directly within the course editor. So you can create an avatar-led training video, add multiple videos across lessons, or simply update even the scripts without needing to re-record. So the whole system works seamlessly with our video generator and becomes part of the authoring process. Richer learning experiences is definitely a key, I would say, objective for us. This is only the start, so we are going to have even further, I would say, experiences, including gamified experiences or simulations. But for now, a course is no longer just a text, just a video or a slide deck. You can add video and other media, of course, and long-form text and more interactive elements, such as different questions as well, if you want to go beyond video as of today. Keeping the training content consistent with your brand is a must, and we try to build like a really capable and advanced brand, I would say, branding capability, which we are taking to further levels in the coming months. You can apply your company brand across your courses, and the training can match the look and feel of your company standards, I would say. And as I mentioned, I know that this is like top of mind for you. You can check the understanding of your learners and viewers inside the course by adding quizzes and knowledge checks directly into your lessons. In the delivery phase, we already added several elements of SCORM support the last months to the video generator. And right now, we are also working towards more of a dynamic SCORM implementation, which would mean that your courses will be live in your LMS. And if you make any edits in Colossyan, those will be live in your LMS as well. So you don't need to re-export or re-upload it. That is not live as of yet, but we are working towards that in terms of making sure that you have more seamless delivery flows to your LMS or other systems. So this is really the first step for us to something big, a complete system to run your training and enablement needs. Today, we are basically scaling the kind of experiences you can build from your existing knowledge by reusing those materials, by generating consistent courses across your entire libraries and producing training faster. The next stage that we have, that we are already building towards, is training that updates with your organization. So think of use cases where you want to connect your courses to source of knowledge, and course could mean maybe a single video or an entire experience that I've shown you. And Colossyan will be able to detect changes that impact the training. Think of like a policy that you use for the training creation, and Colossyan will propose updates to your content without needing to rebuild the entire course, and work with you, kind of be your co-worker in a human-in-the-loop process. So training becomes something, I would say, that you can maintain at scale. And organization scale training is, I would say, the more mid-term milestone we are building towards, which means collaboration across teams, review and approval workflows. We are well aware how, I would say, collaborative your content creation processes are, and further localization capabilities to make that really easy with the advanced interactive experiences such as gamified elements, simulations, etc. So basically, what we built here, what we are building towards inherently, is one platform replacing fragmented workflows. Instead of stitching tools together, you can run training in one system. So instead of having to purchase an AI video solution, an authoring solution, or a solution dedicated for interactivity, you can simply go with Colossyan for your use case requirements in majority of the cases. So basically, the great question today can be how you can get access to Colossyan Learn. I'm pleased to announce that Colossyan Learn is part of the Colossyan platform in the sense that all our free business and enterprise users will be available to try Colossyan Learn. So make sure to check your homepage for updates and enablement instructions. You are also going to receive emails from us in the coming days, or possibly in the next week or so, depending on which customer segment you are in. The new access option, basically, we are including Colossyan Learn into a bundle option, basically to enable you that if you spend right now budgets for all separate tools, the ultimate goal for us is that you can already be acting in a more cost-effective manner by choosing the Colossyan platform with our video and learn solution. So one platform for video-led training and enablement, that's what we are today. And we would love you to try Colossyan Learn and share your feedback as we are evolving the platform together with your feedback and ideas to the next level over the coming weeks and months. With this, we are also pleased to announce that we are introducing a new free starter plan. We will be doing a pricing and packaging update for our self-serve customers in the coming month. And we want anyone to be able to experience the product. So a plan designed to be one of the most generous entry points in the market. If you basically want a limited but free offering, so it will be able to support functionalities and possibilities among the lines that you see here. We really want you to have a great experience from the start. And if you want basically less limits and more possibilities, offer you even better options in terms of packages that you can choose from. So the Colossyan future is a topic which is one of my greatest excitements. And the future is sometimes basically a meaning that we associate with like a year or 2 years from now. I'm definitely confident that this is actually the present towards we are building in the next weeks to come. I'm pleased to invite David Gillam from our product team, basically explaining what we are working on now with the launch of Colossyan Learn, and also how we can take your workflows to the next level using the most advanced technologies. David, please join us on the stage.
Brilliant. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for having me, Dominic. It's really exciting to be here with all of you today. In case you've not met me before, I'm Dave Gillam. I'm a senior product manager here at Colossyan, and I'm owning the Colossyan Learn product, but also some of the other stuff that's going on in the back end, which is really what I'm extremely excited to talk to you all about today, because as you can see here, it is the future for Colossyan. So without further ado, let me jump straight into it and what we're working on at the moment. So we were quite early to the market with certain AI creation flows. Actually, I was involved in those as well, so it's quite exciting to see the evolution. I'm talking about what we originally called our document to video flow, or and is now called the AI video creator flow as an example, where you could give a prompt, you could upload a document, select a template, and we would create a video for you. And originally we saw great, sentiment about this. People were very happy. You could provide the instruction and the system would generate a response, right? Awesome. But over time, we've seen that this system is a bit too brittle. It doesn't quite deliver often what customers are looking for. And what they're looking for is a system that can take very specific instructions. Maybe you might say, I want a video about cats, and the image and all the images in this video should be animated cats or something like this. Who knows what our customers might want? And the system that we built just couldn't handle those kind of queries. So we've been thinking about that problem. That problem was a big part of what got us thinking about this next state. If you want to go to the next slide for me, Dominic. And the next step for Colossyan is agentic AI. Maybe you've heard about agentic AI. You can let me know in the chat if this is a new term for you or not. Maybe you've heard this floating around. When I say agentic, I do not mean conversational avatars. Those are not AI agents, but instead, what an agent is an AI that is capable of autonomous action on behalf of a user. Specifically, it should be able to deliver on your user intent. So how does it do that? Well, it could understand the source of the knowledge source, if you like. I think you have to keep pressing next to me, Dominic. There's a couple options there. Yeah, exactly. It can structure training programs or generate media and experiences. It should be able to apply brand kits and maintain content and so forth. It basically should be able to do anything that a user can do. So that's the idea. We want to create a tool that can take commands and action them for you exactly how you want them to. So if you go to the next slide for me, Dominic. When we were thinking about Colossyan Learn, we really wanted to achieve this vision as well. So it's really what we've decided to do is build what we're calling Project Trinity. Maybe we'll call it the AI Trinity at the end of the day. We're not yet quite sure. You guys can also let us know what you think of that name. But the way I'd like to kind of describe how this system might work within the Colossyan Learn ecosystem, but not just Colossyan Learn, it should also apply to Colossyan Video as well. And all of these things should just interact really nicely. So the way this works is you, the user, you can speak to the orchestrator agent. Let's call that agent Trinity for now. And that agent can call sub-agents. And these sub-agents might be a course importer. Let's say you've got a SCORM file from a course you made a year ago. You could import that into Colossyan using the course importer sub-agent, and it would have the skills and the tools that it needs in order to transform that into a Colossyan Learn course. Of course, we also want to apply the same system to our AI video creator. We want to enable you to create systems captures videos. By the way, a little shout out, if you've not tried, I really recommend using action buttons in Colossyan to create systems captures or software simulations, really fun type of video to make. And we believe we can automate the creation of those as well, again, with agentic AI. We'll be able to create brand kits automatically just from a user email address, or more importantly, learn about the individual users. So that's our goal. The system should learn about individual users, and it should customize its outputs based on your preferences. And of course, that will all be available to you to see. So we wouldn't like just have some kind of private profile of you. You'd be able to see your own profile and update it manually or change it. So if you're not happy with something, you can always have that power. Actually, eventually, we're even hoping to be able to design the system in such a way that you, the creator, will even be able to create sub-agents, which will be available to the orchestrator to create custom, unique flows. So maybe you've got a very specific learning methodology or something like this, and you want the AI to use that methodology. You'll be able to create sub-agents or very specific skills as well to power those maybe existing agents. So this is tremendously exciting. And we are deep in this work right now. What I want to say is that this is not the present of Colossyan. This is the future state. In the near future, though, we've been working on this for a while. So the AI workflow that exists in Colossyan Learn right now, that's available to all of you, does not use the Trinity system yet. And as soon as we have got Trinity in a working order, we will be replacing what we're launching with, which is pretty nuts, but I guess that's just the AI world. Everything changes every few months. So I think, do I have any more slides? I might have one more, Dominic. Endless possibilities. Yeah, I think this is just kind of touching on what I was talking about. But the amazing thing about agents is that creating new features basically becomes creating new agents. As long as you've built them in such a way that they have the necessary skills to basically do anything a user can do, we can create new features. Like I mentioned, for instance, that software simulation idea or the course importer. These are both just simply agentic functionality, and we don't really need to do a ton of additional front-end work, which means we can ship more value for you, our customers, much more quickly. And I think that is everything that I've got to say. Apologies, Kay, for the background noise. I should maybe have had my headphones in. But I'm going to wrap it up there, and we'll probably move on to our final slide with Dominic.
Thanks so much, David. So basically, it's a really exciting project. Would love to hear your feedback as well from our audience, like how much does it relate to kind of your challenges you are facing? And I'm sure you'll be among the first individuals to try this new system we are building over the next weeks. So I would say as one of the conclusions we have for today is the way organizations run training is changing. Training and enablement can no longer, I would say, rely on fragmented tools, manual production, and one-off projects. We must evolve from fragmented content workflows to a more structured systems for knowledge, and from isolated assets to maintainable training programs, and finally from manual production to AI-assisted creation and maintenance. So I'm kind of asking everybody to join us as we shape the next generation of training and enablement. Join us in providing your feedback and kind of working towards a more advanced workflow at your company to take the quality and the speed to a new level. Thank you so much, and would love to open up the possibilities for Q&A. So in case we have questions from the audience, and I see that we already have a lot, I want to ensure that David stays with us if there's anything technical that we must answer. Starting with one of the first questions here that we see, I would say we can move forward with this one from Aaron. When running this as a system, can we serve the videos via the Colossyan platform, either in a customized branded page, and pass the completion of trainings by users out via API to other platforms, for example, for SOC 2 monitoring? That's a great question. The customized branded page is available already for the videos that you create with Colossyan, and is going to be featured for Colossyan Learn over the next weeks. So it's just a few weeks away. We basically support ScoreMax for there, which already has the completion criteria matching. And beyond that, we don't have any pre-enabled APIs for sending you the data. I would say if you're an enterprise customer, talk to our customer success team, and we can look into what kind of a solution we could build for you temporarily if that's needed for your use case. We have Sergio for Q&A. In my vision, running this system means conversation interface, dynamic content generation, open-ended avatar conversation, more than a chatbot. A pre-generated video could be useful use case, but overall enablement and performance, we can assume the risk of on-the-fly video generation. Is this possible, feasible? Sergio is asking. I would say towards the second half of this year, Colossyan is going to support more in the flow of work, training and enablement experience creation based on your knowledge sources. So that means that we are going to be able to spin up custom content based on your rules that you will work with and expectations in our system to kind of enable you to customize training, whether that's through a course, whether that's through a conversation avatars. The thing is that Colossyan is a platform and a company that will have the support of multiple modalities, not just video, not just text, but everything combined in the platform, including voice, so you can enable such experiences. That's a really exciting bit. And the orchestrator system that David explained is what we are building on top of it to enable such experiences. So make sure to follow our work, Sergio. I'm pretty sure we are working towards the same direction. Next question is from Eric. Is it possible to import the document and the tools to generate a video for training, including quiz for the course? That's already possible, and we must say that it's going to be even more advanced. Even right now, it's like 80% of the quality, so you must still edit the output draft because there is still, like, I would say, room for improvement in the quality that we provide in the draft. With the orchestrator workflow that is launching soon from the work of David's team, what we are going to enable is also an outline phase where you can still give feedback to the AI, and also a higher quality for the draft, which means that you don't need to spend as much time editing. So you can really expect us to deliver an even higher quality flow for this use case, which I know is common across the board. Owen is asking, if I had all my video content already recorded, could I upload these videos to Colossyan to redesign my courses? Yes, Exactly. So the orchestrator system that David explained is going to support getting information from videos. One of the key use cases that we wanted to support is when I had a conversation with a construction company where they took a video footage of the construction site, narrated some, I would say, information, how we can turn that footage, not just the narration, but also what the camera sees, to information that we can use for either video or course creation. So this orchestrator system that we are building is going to support this. This is in the scope of the work, and you should expect this coming from us very soon. Eliza is asking, for the training that updates with your organization, will this be available on all plans? It's definitely going to be available on most of the plans. We don't know yet because we don't know the costs associated with running this yet. You should expect us to basically, I would say, give the possibility, and ideally, if the costs are high, then restrict it for lower plans, but we don't know yet. We are going to come up with an answer with this in the coming month, I would say. Gary is asking, does it have the capability to use the conversation avatars as part of the course generation? Yes, because a conversation avatar is an HTML. You can export it as HTML, so you will be able to embed it easily into a Colossyan course as well. Stephen is asking a great question, which I want to clarify. Does this mean that the development of avatar technology will become less important to Colossyan? Not at all. You can expect market-leading avatar developments from us in the coming, I would say, 1 or 2 months, depending on the speed of development. We are going to talk about multi-avatar conversation scenes. So when you put avatars in a board meeting and how they can act more reliably, and also prompt to avatar and avatar customization possibilities for further customization of your avatars. Right now, the Neo 2 technology that we have is the most realistic that is out there in the market from all our other alternatives, based on the benchmarks that we check, and also based on quantitative user research insights. So please use our Neo 2. It's the greatest technology you can find with avatars already out there. And right now, our entire avatar library supports Neo 2. So it's not only like 20 or 50 avatars that you can choose from, but all our avatars that you can use with Neo 2. Aaron is asking, is there a world where Colossyan conversation avatars can reference sources like Confluence over API to allow for a more reg experience? That's a very advanced use case. It's a very, I would say, valid expectation, as we are going to invest more into our conversational avatars later this year. You should see capabilities converging towards this point. Not in the coming months, I would say, yet. Checking other questions. There is another one from Liz. Will it be possible to have avatars talking to each other to act out scenario conversations? Yes, exactly. That's what we are working on. You should expect some updates from us soon. I hope to show up in a near-term webinar and walk you through the advancements in avatar technology pretty soon to enable realistic scenarios such as that. You can already use side view avatars, by the way, for that purpose in the video product. We have a question from Ken. Do you see a chatbot feature incorporating Colossyan's avatars, meaning the responses will be with an avatar? That's already the conversation avatar that we have that's available. You can basically use the conversation avatar if you're on a Colossyan enterprise plan. Make sure to book a demo in case you are interested, and you can test it. Vivek is asking, is it possible to give reference photos for avatar generation? You can create avatars from photos already. You can expect a more refined custom avatar flow launching in April. Michael is asking, will we have avatars moving around talking on blank canvas soon or in the near future without dynamic backgrounds? That's tricky. We are working towards more dynamic environmental control, and you should see that in this board meeting or multi-avatar setup that I discussed. So they'll be able to also hold like an item in their hand that is maybe an item that your company sells. So that's going to be a possibility. Beyond that, it's a bit more, I would say, advanced. Great. I would say we have time for 2 more questions. One from Nelly. Will it be possible to upload videos to Colossyan Learn? Yes. the answer is yes. So you'll be able to upload as many videos as you like. And Jim is asking, potentially as a final question, realistic scenarios could be added to change the conversation tone. Some training videos I need to have sarcastic feedback similar to tone. I would say the tone is like a key possibility, a possibility that you can now change. We introduced a lot of new voices, which will be supported in hopefully Colossyan Learn as well soon. And there you can have more dynamic change. I think we have one more question here. If David, you can answer that, that would be appreciated.
Yes, of course. So we do have XAPI plans. They're just a little bit further down the road for us right now. But this will be something that does come along, and we're not yet sure which plans it will be available for. It's obviously a bit more of a complex lift compared to SCORM, but you can expect this with Colossyan Learn for sure this year.
Perfect. Thank you so much. In the name of our entire team, we are really excited to launch Colossyan Learn. Some of you already have access to it, so make sure to check out your account. Make sure to use it and deliver your feedback. You should really expect additional functionalities to launch over the next weeks, continuously, every single week. And thank you for joining us on this journey. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to our entire team, and I hope you will have great creation experiences and will deliver some great work. Thanks so much for supporting Colossyan so far, and I wish you all a great Thursday. Thanks for joining, and goodbye.